To keep them looking young.
To keep them looking young. Because they know black does not crack.
No, it does not.
I can't even tell you my age. If I wasn't a married man, it would be easy. Okay? Because I'm handsome.
I'm handsome and wealthy.
And my wife is beautiful.
I'm beautiful.
And black people over 40, you guys look the same like you were 20.
Yes.
The only thing that defies your true age is the grays on your hair for the men. Okay?
And then you just switch to looking debonair.
And maybe you still dress like it's 2010 when these new niggas are wearing flashy shit. All right? But if you were to dress like these new niggas now, they wouldn't know how old you are. That's how amazing being black is. Now, for my white brothers and sisters, the reality is that gravity does not do well with you.
Yes.
Over time, there are lines, crow's feet, there's all of these products necessary to basically defy the pull of gravity.
Yes.
Or in our previous video, Saturn's realm, where he is stretching. He is always, there's a great line in the movie, in the show, The Young Pope, and he says basically that my time on this earth is like a thinning sheet of paper. Right? Because we're all in our story. And for those of us getting older, the pages to write in our book is coming to an end. Yes.
Okay.
So the debt that we were referring to is, let me just break down how basically the three major monotheistic world religions view debt. All right? 2 out of 3 do not like debt. Okay, like in the Bible, from a Christian perspective, we forgive us our debts, and in Islam, like it is illegal to charge interest, which is basically debt. So, from an Islamic standpoint, there is no debt. Okay, now the only religious faith that can charge interest or debt is the Jewish faiths. But even in the Jewish faiths, they have the year of Jubilee where all debts are free. Right? So all the religious systems of the world have the ability to kind of answer debt, right? So basically, in about the 1200s, as the banking thing is necessary for commerce, the Jewish faith, which is the structure or the kind of the Roman tradition at that time, they understood that interest could be utilized, but as a man of faith, like in principle, like they couldn't do it. So they would ask a Jewish friend to kind of do the books for me, and you hold the debt, and then like I'm good, like I wash my hands of it, right? Now, it represents success when facing an obstacle. Okay, back to this cartomancy, and in this reality, in my opinion, this obstacle is debt. That's one of the chief tools that capitalism uses to kind of build its engine. It creates debt, and usually it creates debt for wealth. Right? So if you have a creative idea that needs capital funding, a bank is going to loan you that money, create that, and then, if your idea is as great as they think they are, like it's going to be so big that it'll pay back the debt, and
earn them interest.
Right?
And give you what you need supposedly for that moment.
And give you what you need. You know what I mean? But like a lot of businesses and a lot of industries, rely on debt and rely on liquidity, right? So right now, for a lot of the businesses, they are looking at a calculation that they have to determine within this environment whether they should stay open for business, because clearly everything is slowed down to a halt, right?
Yeah.
And there are still not only
to a cautious crawl
for some industries. For our industry here in South Florida, like we have to close our practice. Okay, we just got news that one of the biggest dental group owners in South Florida laid off their employees, which means they're not seeing patients. Mm-hmm. Then the state of Florida says do not see emergency patients until May 8th.
Yes. Okay,
now that's a reality that I don't see a way that we are not quote unquote bankrupt. Because we would have to, what we would need to get back, we would be in more debt. And we were already in debt. So why would I go back to more debt in a situation that I didn't create? I had no participation in this freaking version of this pandemic, right? But debt is the obstacle that represents success in here, okay? And I wish that would go away. The negative dimension of the Ace of Spades can thus be avoided thanks to some specific cards and can bring a message of hope to the consultant, okay? Now I want to talk about the ripple effects, right? So we have Ellen DeGeneres communicating, okay? And if you look on her page, like she has some interesting figures on there. She has some very interesting figures, like celebrity, other high-profile celebrities on there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She has, of course, herself. She has Alec Baldwin on there. Alec Baldwin again. 1, 2 for Alec Baldwin. 3 for Alec Baldwin. Shaquille O'Neal is on here. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything I remember.
There's
okay.
David Blaine.
There's David Blaine. On this, there's a shirt here where she's holding the 6 of Hearts. I guess we have to look that up too. She has a photo of a picture that says "Run Forrest Run." Now, there's a photo here of her holding her iPhone. It is on the, well, I don't even know what row down.
No,
1, 2,
they just have to look it up because it's not different
7,
mobile, honey.
8, 9. Oh, you're right. Different mobile. All the way down, she has a sweatshirt. She has a sweatshirt of, and it's white. It has black writings on it. It looks like it says "Ah," and it has a red figure on her right heart, upper right chest. All right, that's something you got to check out too. Okay, here's Jay-Z, Beyonce is on here. Let's see here. Elizabeth Warren is on there.
Okay.
When did all this start? I want to see the date. 1 week ago.
That's the Jonas Brothers.
The Jonas Brothers are on here. You know, and there's so many people. Okay, the guy from what's that show? Ted Bundy. He's on here. He's on here twice.
Not Ted. Is that his name?
That's Ted Bundy from
Married with Children.
Yeah, from Married with Children. And these are within the recent week. Okay, so you know.
Demi Lovato.
Like there's a lot of things in, and there's a lot of kids on here too. So yuck.
That's her kids.
Yeah, disgusting. Okay, so here's a ripple effect. So let's put on our tinfoil hat, and let's say that there is such a thing as adrenochrome.
If you're still listening, you already have your tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, you're still listening. Let's put on our tinfoil hat, is what I say. But let's keep the logic. Right? And let's run a simulation. Let's say there's 2 realities. Everything that I'm saying is absolute bullshit, like doesn't exist. But there's a lot of connections in the reality that doesn't exist and does exist. Right? So let's say if it's true, and that has something to do with 1,200 CEOs resigning as well. 1,300 CEOs resigning as well in the last 6 months. Okay.
No, I don't know 6 months versus a year.
Titans of media that are resigning, like people like
Disney.
The Today Show host Matt Lauer.
Yes.
Okay, he's gone. The guy from the Oak Table, who's Charlie Rose, like he's gone.
Oh yeah.
Bill Cosby, he's gone.
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein, he's gone. I'm missing another big one. Even Anderson Cooper
is in
quarantine with COVID-19. So he's a celebrity. Now the whole thing about the COVID-19 being in quarantine is that they ran out of this adrenochrome. Okay, they ran out of this adrenochrome, and because the Trump administration started to really attack the child pedophilia ring, right? And if you look in the news, you can look this up. The feds busted up there was a Mexican property that allegedly was like a lab where they would harvest, the adrenochrome, synthesize it with some fentanyl, some stem cell research, and then they would basically take it as a vial, right? They would have a vial and then take it in drops, right? Now, the price of this was $22,000 a milliliter when the operation was like smooth, okay?
That's you.
So, so the when that lab was shut down, and that's something that is allegedly one of the main sites where the adrenochrome was I guess manufactured in a user-friendly way. The United States government shut that lab down, right? And then what that did to the price of the adrenochrome is that the price skyrocketed. It skyrocketed on some reports to $1 million a milliliter. Okay, now that is an astronomical jump. Okay, so what the elites were able to, their next move was to basically find a synthesized version of it. Okay, and in some reports they referred to the synthesized version was created in Wuhan, China. Okay, so that's what I hear on that side, and then I hear reports that Wuhan, China is where this COVID-19 virus was made, right? I don't know about that. But the story is that the COVID-19 virus was given to the elite pedophilia ring. And those who partook and drunk of that COVID-19 were basically infected with COVID. Who drunk of the supposed adrenochrome was not adrenochrome, it was COVID-19. And when Ellen, I guess she realized what is going on, she is communicating to her club that there is coming danger for us. All right?
We will be betrayed.
Now, Tom Hanks is under human quarantine. Idris Elba is under COVID-19 quarantine. Oprah Winfrey is under house arrest or is under self-quarantine. Okay, so there's a lot of high-profile figures. Of course, everybody's on lockdown. Everybody's on a soft quarantine. All right, but then there are just some who are in quarantine from COVID quarantine, and a lot of the alleged people who participate in this adrenochrome scandal, they are self quarantine or COVID quarantine, and they're just trying to communicate back to each other.
They might have already been arrested.
Yes.
And they're in house arrest.
Of course.
And they said, please, during this time, they made a negotiation that they would not take them publicly to jail. So what they would do is I will go voluntarily quarantine or you turn themselves in, or we clock you and you turn yourself in. You understand?
Yep.
So if everybody starts saying, all right, fine, I'll just stay home. I'm a celebrity. Can you just let me be at home in jail in my own house, please? Thank you.
Okay, so.
Sorry, that's a super tinfoil hat theory.
So, like, this adrenochrome scandal, it has affected like 3 major aspects of the world that we live in. All right? And the 3 major aspects that affect the world are politics, media, and finance. All right? Politics, media, and finance. So, right now, the buzzword that we know about the world economy is that it's a world economy. It's a global economy. And sometimes in this capitalistic model that we, I guess, like and practice, there has to be some kind of version of capitalism. Do you have a nationalist capitalism where basically, you're